You know, some of you might be thinking that I only did that opening bit to show you that I just got my hair cut and it actually looks alright. And you're right. Hello, everybody. It's time for week 3 predictions. There's still so many more weeks to go, and then the playoffs, and then... So the Thursday night game is the Miami Dolphins going to be going up to Buffalo to play the Bills. This is probably the most coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb game of the year so far. And so I think it's a very fair thing to say that the Bills will win. I don't think that they're going to steamroll the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to play with a little bit of anger. But an angry fighter is a sloppy fighter, so Bills will still win. But similar to my Cowboys-Eagles pick from the start of the year, don't expect this to be a blowout. Steelers-Patriots. Hey, Steelers, you somehow let the Seahawks score a touchdown that I could score on you. So yeah, the Steelers have actually been a pretty interesting team this year because Aaron Rodgers will either be MVP season or last season. And we literally have that week to week. With that in mind, I will be picking the Steelers. I don't like that I keep picking them. I hope you guys understand that, but I just know how they work. They work on black magic, and they work on the evil work of Tomlin, who is the most evil man because he Bengals, Vikings. Poor Bengals. I don't like the Bengals, and I don't like Burrow, not because of him as a human, but just where he plays. But you gotta feel for them. You really do, because it seems like every time they get something, it's crushed. I said that their window was pretty short after Burrow's got his extension, because I've said it several times in this series, the best time to win a Super Bowl is during your star quarterback's rookie contract when you can still make all your roster moves. And Burrow has been hurt, 3 out of his 6 seasons now? And the seasons he has been there, he's been great. And this is the first time he's ever started 2-0, I think. Yeah. But yeah, his first season ever, I believe, is 2-0, is now presumably already over with his injury. Now, Jake Browning is no slouch. He's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league, I would say. But you still got to assume that a team led by Jake Browning won't be as good. I think that's a fair assessment. His Bengals defense still isn't quite all the way there, and I like to see McCarthy actually wake up a bit. Now, we've seen that McCarthy has learned something, and that's that if you don't know the other team's next play, you're probably not going to win. I kid, but I do feel bad for the guy. Imagine being the first overall pick for a team as their new leading quarterback, only for you to get hurt before the season even begins, and then the backup quarterback inexplicably lead that team to 14 wins, and then you have to come in and pick up the scraps from that. And in addition to all of that, you just missed an entire year, so you have ring rust, and now everyone's like, well, the backup quarterback got us 14 wins. So I do feel bad for him, and in that sense, I will be taking the Vikings to win here. I think that the Bengals are just kind of out of hope, almost, in a weird way. Like, I think that they're just going to experience everything all at once and lose. Colts, Titans, and I hate Daniel Jones for one reason. You know how rare it is for a player to have a nickname bestowed upon them that is so universally accepted as their nickname that's generally, if you say the nickname, people know who they're talking about? That doesn't really happen all that much in football. And not only that, but that nickname is actually really good. Daniel Jones got 2. He gets Danny Dimes and Indiana Jones, and both are great. He is somehow, using both those nicknames' power, led this Colts team to 2-0. They beat the Dolphins, which, it makes absolutely no sense, and this Titans team has been not 100%. I'm going to keep riding with the Colts, I guess, because I'm having fun with them. Jets, Buccaneers. Now, this is a famous matchup because the last time they played is when Antonio Brown retired. It's really hard being a Browns fan on Twitter nowadays because the amount of times I get clips, hey, remember when you guys got rid of him? And I'm like, hey, remember when OBJ tried to convince everybody that because he was hurt, that meant that he was bad, and I was the only one smart enough to know that he just needs surgery, but he keeps playing because he's a crazy man. And instead of letting Case Keenum play, He just keeps going in, and now the perception of him in Cleveland is that he's not a very good quarterback. So much so that they got to the head office and they want to make a change to Deshaun Watson. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I do. Buccaneers. Actually, no, Jets, because I hate you. Raiders, Commanders, and Geno Smith having one of the worst stat lines I've ever seen ever leads me to believe that they're probably going to have a comeback win here, but I can't do it. Commanders. Rams, Eagles. Rams. Jalen Hurts has been very strange as of late because, so I'm sure a lot of you saw that stat on Twitter that said that Dylan Gabriel, the Browns rookie quarterback, has more passing touchdowns than the Super Bowl MVP. And to me, what that entails is that he is just that unselfish of a player, that he's not after stat padding. He is after team success, which is a really respectable trait. However, it does come with the double-edged sword of seeing those pictures online, and now people assume that Jalen Hurts is bad. Texans, Jaguars. I hope the Texans win because our draft pick would get better. But I'm taking the Jaguars. The Packers versus the Browns. Please show the picture now. Thank you. Yeah. So this week, the Browns are going to be wearing their new Alpha Dog helmets, the brand new all-brown matte helmet with the 2 orange stripes. With our old bad Color Rush jersey, the one without the stripes on the side, so it's just brown with a couple of the orange number. And it's also sponsored by Dude Wipes, because why not? Why not just lean into the fact that everyone thinks that we're a laughingstock? Because we are. The Packers, as previously mentioned, are one of the best teams in the league, so it only makes sense that they're going to choke in the NFC Championship game. So with that in mind, give me the Browns. Am I biased? Obviously. But there's always one. Falcons, Panthers, Falcons. Saints are playing the Seahawks. Seahawks. Cardinals, 49ers, Mac Jones led Niners. No, give me the Cardinals. Sorry I'm rushing through these. I got class in, not that long. So, Cowboys, Bears. I will be taking the Cowboys because the Bears need this humiliation. Because then they're going to get mid-season better. And then by the end, they're going to be like, oh, okay, so we got our pieces in place, and now we have hope. They're like the Browns, kind of. Primetime game. Why is it now the Chiefs are in primetime, taking on the Giants? I would like to see Jackson Dart starting. He won't. But Russell Wilson somehow threw 450 yards. Granted, it was against the Cowboys defense, but this is the real make or break game for the Chiefs. They have looked not like themselves lately. They're still a very good team, but their last 3 straight losses have been noticeable, and people now think that they're really overrated, as though they haven't played 2 really good teams back-to-back or anything, but I'm going to take the Chiefs, by the way. Finally, you've got the Monday night primetime game of Lions-Ravens. The Lions looked a lot more like themselves last week. Granted, it was against the Bears, but still. I think that the Ravens are on a bit of a revenge mission after week 1, so I'm going to take the Ravens here. For game of the week, I'm actually going to go Falcons-Panthers. I think a divisional matchup between 2 young quarterbacks, that's always going to lead to something fun. For sleeper of the week, it's got to be Saints-Seahawks. It's got to be. It has to be. And then sleeper of the week, I'm going to go Colts-Titans. Similar reasoning about divisional matchup, but in the fact that the Colts are just the most interesting team in the league this year. And, first overall pick, Cam Ward. Could be fun. So that's my picks for this week. Thanks for watching. As always, let's go Browns. And please don't disappoint me. Hey, I got a new Tinder match.